Hello, my name's Julie from Salessewunique, and I will pop all the links down below where you can find me on social media. Well, welcome to this week's vlog. We are on episode 132. So I've actually remembered what number we're on this week. I hope everybody's had a lovely week, and I hope you're enjoying all the sun, because we've had some fabulous weather this week, and today it's actually quite warm out there. So at the moment all the curtains are shut at the front of the house because it gets quite warm in the house when the sun's out there. But we need it, I know that. I need it especially for my tomatoes, because I've got quite a few tomatoes on my plants and they're all green, and I've got lots of flowers opening up, so the tomatoes will soon be coming there, and I need some sun to ripen them off, otherwise I'm not going to have any nice tomatoes to have with my salad. The courgettes seem to be doing good, so I think I'm going to be able to pick a couple today, because they are actually ready for picking, some of them, and there's plenty more coming. So I have 3 courgette plants this year because I know how many courgettes we end up getting, and we don't get to eat them all. This usually end up going into marrows. So this year we're going to eat them. So I've got myself a cup of water because I've already got a dry throat. I've been on the phone for an hour already talking, so I'm getting a bit dry. Oh dear. Well, I've got a few things to show you this week. Well, what shall I start with? I haven't really bought much this week at all. But what's turned up is my labels for everything that I make. So I have got a nice box, and I've got 200 labels here. I mean, they're just pretty basic, but they all turned up on, I think, Friday. So I spent Saturday evening, after I'd finished sewing, I had a lovely evening of sewing and it was great, and I sat on the sofa and I chopped all 200 up, so they're all ready to use now. So I've been sewing away like I don't know what this week, but it's been really good. Oh dear. The only other thing I bought is, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen I went to the charity shop the other day and I got myself 4 books I should say. I've got, what did I buy? Mrs. Wong's tea shop mystery thing. She runs a tea shop and it's a murder mystery. That's upstairs. I've already started reading that, and it's somewhat different to what I'm used to, but we're going to keep going and see how I get on with it. The second one I got is a Heidi Swain, and this is the Book Lovers Retreat. So that looks interesting, and you can see on the back, if you want to read the blurb, you can take a photograph of that. So I'm looking forward to reading that. I'm looking forward to reading all of them actually. The next one is The Christie Affair, and this is all about Agatha Christie when she disappeared for 11 days. So that sounds very interesting. I'm looking forward to starting that one as well, but I don't know which order I'm going to read these in at the minute. And then the last one is Bunting and Bouquets, Summer at the Little Wedding Shop, and that looks like it's by the seaside. So I might keep this one for September when I go away, and then I can put it in my little seaside bag, the other one that's got all the beads on, and use my bag while I go away, because I know we'll be going to see the sea. So I'm looking forward to that. So these 4 books that I've got should keep me going for probably the rest of this year actually, but I also needed to get some books so I can actually take some photographs this week of all my products. So I think that is going to be one thing for, I say this week, it's next week. So that's one thing I will be doing over the following week, is photographing all my things. Right, now we'll get on to what I've been making. So you might want to get yourself a cup of tea for this, because there's quite a few things. I've actually done a little bit of work. If you can hear that noise, that's Charlie. I've been working on my cross stitch this week. I haven't done a great deal. I did make a mistake again. Do you know, it wouldn't be me if I didn't make a mistake on cross stitch, would it? I'll tell you. I did unpick and I did sort of rectify the mistake, so that's what I'm making. But this time I seem to have got a little mistake. Can't really see where I've gone wrong, but I'm not unpicking. I'm just going to reshape the top of the strawberry. So I have done a little bit there, but it's coming along nicely, and I'm just going to work on the greenery now. But I find I need quiet concentration, not have the telly on and have Kevin talking while I'm trying to concentrate. So I don't know when I'll get to work on this week, I'm afraid, because I know I do take it to work sometimes, but if it gets busy in the shop then I can't concentrate. That's probably when I go wrong. But I am enjoying it, and we're getting there. We're not far off now. And the next thing I've been working on is my month of June. That's it, my month of June on my wheel. So I have done all of June there. You can see how miserable it was in June. So I'm looking forward to getting started on July, but that won't be until the end of this month. I'll make a start on that. But yeah, I'm really enjoying that, and it's nice to see it coming together. I can't wait to get some yellows and greens in there, so it should look nice. I think this month should look nice when I get to it. So yeah, that's another thing I've been working on. Now, all the fabric I shared with you last week, I have actually used, and I've got quite a few bits left over, small pieces, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them at the minute, but I did think about, yes, I can make some lavender pouches. Excuse me a minute while I just answer my phone. Right, now I've got to remember where I got to. Yeah, all the bits and pieces. Yes, I can do some lavender pouches, but I did think maybe I could do like some hexagons or some squares for patchwork, and do something like that. Maybe even if it's just making a book cover or a notepad cover. I don't know at the minute. I'm going to have to see how much I've got left, because it's all dotted around my sewing room at the minute. But that's a job for another day, I think. Right, what else have I got? I have got 2 book sleeves in this nice fabric, and it's lined with that. These are actual little pumpkins, I think, on there, but they look really nice. I'm really pleased with these. So I've got 2 of them. Then I've got some, actually I'll show you the key fobs. I managed to get key fobs done from most of my offcuts, so I've got 22 altogether, and I actually got them all stitched up and made up in about 2 hours on Saturday, which I thought was really good for me. So I've got 2 chickens, 2 of the strawberry ones, 2 of these that look like little pumpkins on there, what have we got here? 1, 2, 2 of these lovely sort of blue and orange pumpkins, 2 of the autumn leaves, which I like them. Mind you, I like all of them. But how many wristlets does one person need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the poppy ones. Right. I've got another strawberry one. One of these Lynn Anderson fabrics. I've got a spare piece of this yellow, which was one of the part of one of the fat courses I shared with you last week. And then this is the Halloween fabric that goes with the bookcases. So I've got 5 of these. Yes, that's all of the key fobs I've done, and I've managed to get out of that fabric, because I've got a metre of that fabric. I've got 2 bags, so these look really nice. I think there might be, yeah, there's just a little bit of, just a slight difference in the height of these bags, but other than that they have been made the same, and they've just got a nice cream inside. And I've used that pumpkin fabric on the top, and I've used this cord, which is, it's definitely orange, I think it's green, cream and orange, which goes perfectly well with this bag, I think. So you can see it better now. So yeah, and it's got a nice box bottom on it. So I've got 2 of them. Now we're on to, oh no, I've got some more bags here. Now this is the Christmas fabric I showed you last week. I've actually got 3 bags. So I've got 2 sort of sock size, and it's got the nice red with it's like little stars and hearts in there, and it's got a nice box bottom on it. So you've got that, and that's on the one. The second one, they're both the same size, so I've got those finished off, which is good. And then this is the bigger bag. So it's a slightly heavier weight fabric. It's heavier than a cotton. I'm not sure what you call it, if I'm honest, but that's nice. And then the chicken fabric, I made a book sleeve, and that's where I've used that. I've used some nice yellow organic cotton in there, so I've made that. Then I managed to get out of the fat quarter a notebook sleeve, and I've used the yellow with the spots on for the pockets, and for the back of the book I've used that other nice yellow, and it's got a nice yellow satin ribbon, so I'm really pleased with that. So this would be perfect really for anybody who just loves chickens, and especially if you're a knitter. So yeah. Then I've got a pumpkin book sleeve, and it's got the autumn leaves on the inside, and it's got my tag in the back. I just need to put the poppers on these book sleeves. I didn't get around to that. I knew there was something I'd forgotten. And what else have I got? Oh yeah, that's all the fabric I think I shared with you last week that I was going to use. So I've not done too bad this week. I've used everything up that I said I would do. And I did use up the dancing skeletons, that fat quarter, and the owls in the graveyard. Now I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, so just excuse me a minute while I get myself up. So what I decided to do was a table runner. So I just split the piece of fabric into 4. So I've got 1 square of this left over, which I'm going to use in a bag of some kind. So I've used that, and then on the back I've used up some of my pumpkin fabric. So you could actually have it that way on the table if you wanted, or that. So that's one. These didn't take too long to make. And this is the owl, which I love this one. And it's got the nice spotty sweet tooth fabric on there. And I've also used the sweet tooth for the binding. And on this one, it's like the skeletons and sort of like the skulls, I should say, in the graveyard. So yeah, so I'm really pleased with these. And pumpkin fabric on the back of there. So yes, I've had quite a productive week this week. Used up some fabrics, which is fantastic. And then I decided, as I'd got a bit of spare time, I thought, why not? I'll get on with something else. So I think I showed you this fabric last week. So I made a notebook cover with this. This one is going to be mine, and I've got some batik on the inside and some blue organic cotton for the back of the pad. So yeah, I like this one, and it's got a nice blue ribbon in there for a bookmark, so I've used that up. And this one hasn't got a book in at the minute because I've not quite finished the edging, but I really like this fabric as well. So I've used the same blue and the same blue for the pockets. This is batik fabric. So yeah. So yes, I've got more done than I thought I'd got done. And I've got some new fabric in the shop, which is William Morris fabric. It's really nice, and it's got quite a big pattern on it. So I've managed to get 2 more notebooks, and I've got some scraps left over of this fabric, and I decided to make well, I'm going to probably make a bookmark with it. So I use the blue organic on the back because that actually goes really well with this William Morris fabric, and I've got some of this confetti fabric, which that's also in my shop, and it's got a blue bookmark in there. So yeah, so that's all my makes for this week. So I think I've done pretty well. I might not do the same amount for next week though. And it's probably because I've had a quieter week, even though I've been food shopping one night and hospital visiting some of the nights as well over the week. So yes. Right, well, plans for next week. So I'm planning now. One of these weeks I'll say, oh, I'm planning for next week, and then it'll not happen. So you just never know with sort of how my life's going at the minute, whether I'll be able to do anything or not. So we'll just take each day at a time. I'm not going to sit around and say, well, I'm not making plans, because I need to. So the other 2 fat quarters, which I think I shared with you last week, I've got these cut out for notebook covers, which I haven't done yet. So we've got some batik in with that one. That's to do for next week. And this one with the very large flower on it. I'm not sure what flower it is, but it's beautiful. I've got a green and one of the other fabrics that I think I shared with you last week. So that's what I'm going to be doing over next week. I have got a piece of this pumpkin fabric left, so I've got a double piece of that. So I either keep this for maybe another runner, or I make a bag with it. I'm not really sure yet, so I might use that up this week, I might not, we'll just have to see. But what I have found in my stash as well, I don't know if I shared this with you last week or not, but I've got 2 pieces of sewing fabric, which yet again I bought when I've been on holiday, on that one. So I don't know, I will probably make a notebook cover with these. I don't know yet. I think I will, notebook cover, because I've got, how many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got another six notepads sat here, so that's what I'm going to do. So that's next week's job. And then I need to put that over there. And then I think I found a project out. I'm going to have to stand up again. And it's a Peter Rabbit quilt. It was from a jelly roll, and I haven't got a clue when I had this in, but it was one I had in the shop, and I thought, oh, I'm going to make a quilt with that. Excuse me a minute, I need a drink. And I never got round to it, and it got put away in my sewing room, as it does. So that is it. So it's all stuck to the batting, so all I need to do is a bit of quilting, which I'm probably just going to do a stitch in the ditch, I think. Something quick, just so I can get it finished. I haven't got a clue what I'm going to do with it, like, but yeah, it is nice. So get rid of a few threads on it. It needs a good press, I think, before I start quilting. But yeah, so that is another job for next week, really. So I'll have to watch this space to see if I can actually get this done. And the binding as well. I'm gonna have to find some fabric for the binding as well now. I'll have a look in my stash, and I'll have a look and see what I've got in the shop to see if I've got anything suitable. Well, it has been a busy week, hasn't it? So it has helped, I suppose, because Adele and Kevin have been out all weekend since Thursday afternoon, so I've had time to craft. No phone calls, nothing. It's all been quiet. So I've made the most of my time, which has been really, really nice. I don't often get sort of free time that I can just go and sit and sew. So yes, I'm looking forward to next week. Right, well, I think that's probably all I've got to share with you this week. I've got nothing else. Just checking, make sure I've not left anything anywhere. What have we got here? Let me just check, see what we've got. Oh no, these are pieces. Oh, I've got like pieces of fabric, so I'm going to have to come up with something to make with these. Yes. Right, well, thank you for joining me this week. I think I'm going to love you and leave you now, because it's getting on for tea time, and I really need to get this video edited so I can get it uploaded tonight. And yeah, I'll get some tea. I'm starting to get hungry now. So I hope everybody has a lovely week next week, and like I said, I hope you enjoy the weather. And thank you so much for joining me. It's lovely to have your company, and I will see you all again soon. Bye for now.